So you told your boy King Say So, and I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, as you always watch the full video.
People are finally addressing the big elephant in the room
Nah, ain't
when
no
it comes
people
to this
finding it.
David
I've
and
been
Celeste
asking.
murder investigation,
I've
and
been
that's Celeste's
asking.
parents, Celeste's family. See, Nancy Grace went scorched earth on Celeste's family earlier today, and then the private investigator Steve Fisher did an interview with Jadeon where he sort of revealed some sketchy things involving Celeste's family as well.
What are you saying, Dave Mack? What are you saying till we find out what the next step is going to be? The next step is an indictment. That's the next step. The long dead body of this little girl found in D4vd David Anthony Burke's Tesla, found one day after she would have turned 15. She was just 13 years old in the 7th grade when her family reported her missing. She was with D4vd, and after that, they never said another word. Nothing. Where have they been all this time? Why are we the only ones banging the drum, demanding justice? Brian Fitzgibbons, this is very odd behavior on the parents' part. Never issuing a public plea, never thanking the LAPD for finding their girl, never demanding justice. I'd be laying on the front steps of the courthouse screaming for justice. Nothing. Radio silent.
She got a fact. Hey, I said it, bro. I said in plenty of videos, bro. Where's her parents at? And again, she's running away. That's why, like, they need to bring back boot camp. Because, bro, if kids are running away, going to be with adults, they need to be in boot camp. They can still run away from there, but it's a lot harder because they got guards and people patrolling, so it's a lot harder. That's probably sadly because she is alive now. But if she was doing that, that's probably what she should have been, not with him, and not it's all she was them. She's safe. Okay, if that's what they did, that's crazy as hell.
And now an indictment is set to go down, and they're what? What? Where are they?
Yeah, it's incomprehensible, the fact that there hasn't been a large outcry from her family.
Fair point, but also unfair. Now, grief come in different ways. People grieve in different ways. I'm personally not at the stage yet where I have enough information to where I'm ready to go complete scorched earth on the family, but they did make some fair points. When Celeste's body was first discovered, the mom gave a statement to the police, and the mom says that she had a boyfriend named David. So that would show they was aware of the relationship with Celeste and David. Now, were they aware how old David was? Were they aware? The mom used the term boyfriend. I'm using the term victim.
You can obviously see that he's older than her. So, what I'm asking, who are you? How old are you? Where do you stay at? Ask questions. I remember going to a friend's house. It's me, my homie. We picking up the home girls, our friends. These are girls we are not doing anything with. At least I ain't. I think the homie was. But her mom come out. She wanted to see niggas' IDs. How old are you niggas? What's your names? No, I don't want to know no nickname. What's your real name? That's how a real parent supposed to be.
Celeste was David's victim, right? David was Celeste's perpetrator. So I don't consider this a relationship, right? She was groomed. But if the family knew David's age and they knew that Celeste was involved in a relationship with David, lock all of them up. Lock them all up. We've seen this exact same play with R. Kelly. Moms and parents were bringing their underage kids to R. Kelly and allowing R. Kelly to be with them because they wanted to benefit financially from it. Mm-hmm. So if this is what went on, lock up all of them and arrest them all. But we don't know that yet. We don't know the full details yet. So we have to reserve our judgment. Now, Steve Fisher spoke on the family, and I'll be real, Steve Fisher said...
Only thing about it, though, is like, we probably will never truly know because, again, it's not... I highly doubt I highly doubt if this comes, if or when this goes to trial, he's going to get on the stand and he's gonna break down how they met and who knew. And I mean, unless they gonna break down everything that might be in his phone, but then again, that part of it might not be in it. So again, we probably will still 100% never know if her parents knew. But obviously, you have to know if you said David. And again, it's a clip of the brother saying that she was going to the movie with the nigga. So if the brother know, the parents got to know.
A lot without fully getting to.
And then plus he was hopping on stream with her. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be 100% missing if somebody's gonna hop on stream with you, knowing people can just screenshot this and send it to the police, what they should have been doing. That just lets you know people are weird, bro. Like his supporters, y'all was sitting there, seeing the people on stream together, knowing that your supporters, they get to digging into shit, right? Like when you have a real locked in fan base, they get to digging into who you really are. So I'm quite sure his real fan base looked at and searched how old he is, and that's how. And then the discords, all them people in the discord, he's famous. You're a famous singer. Oh, I know it's more than one person in your discord. You got at least 500 or more people. Nobody was. And then they haven't been screenshotting because the screenshot that came out and they on Reddit. So why would nobody screenshotting and sending it to the police? The people that he paid off. Why didn't you, after you got that money, hey, this weirdo just came and paid me X amount of dollars, did not tell nobody that him and this young girl are talking. Go get him right now, please. He's down. He lives down the street. His car like this. He's right there. He's paying more people right now.
Where he wanted to go. So the first red flag that popped up in my head that really stuck out, Steve Fisher said initially LAPD was putting out statements like, we don't know if this is a murder or a homicide. This could have very well been just, concealing the body inappropriately. Celeste could have died on her own and then they just panicked and hide the body. We don't know yet. So the homeowner stepped in, right? The house that David was renting, they stepped in and they hired Steve Fisher, the private investigator. Steve Fisher, who was tasked with discovering whether or not Celeste was murdered or if she took her own life, contacted the family. And according to Steve Fisher, he contacted the family, but it was almost impossible to get in touch with them, right? And he felt like he was badgering them at some point and he just stopped. I don't know any family who wouldn't be super receptive to any help they can get from a private investigator if the police is putting out information of she may not have been murdered, she may have, done it to herself. And then a private investigator saying, hey, I'm here to investigate whether or not she was murdered. I don't know any family that wouldn't be receptive to that help.
Oh, God.
But apparently Celeste's family wasn't too receptive.
Celeste's family never got in touch with you to find her before. The only reason why you got involved was because the owners of the house had cops coming through their house investigating stuff and they just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, no, I've never been in touch with her family. I've tried. I didn't want to push them hard though, so I haven't really followed up more. But yeah, so the owners were very, it's never had anything to do with value of the house or loss of value or anything. It's had to do with, they wanted to understand what happened there because they have kids around that age and they wanted to know if on even a spiritual level if they could go back in that house. It was really hard for them to fathom, if it happened there, or even in fact even that didn't happen there, just the fact that it's tied to it. They have some real decisions to make, and they're from out of the country,
gonna sell that house.
And so they don't really understand the laws and everything. So they said, listen, we want to find out what happened. They wanted to know what the truth was, and they wanted to make sure that Celeste got justice if she needed to get justice. Because remember, at that time, too, they're telling us there might not be any crime here beyond concealment of a body, which was never true. I don't know why LAPD came out and said that, but they were making it sound like this might have been like an overdose or something, and they made a bad decision. There was nothing like that. It was never anything like that. This was a guy who's a predator.
They probably kept saying it because the corner kept saying it was probably gonna be near to impossible for them to find out how she was, not here no more. And now they're discovering that she had 2 punching wounds. That's probably why they said that, because they probably was never gonna know. So
I don't know why it took this long to get where we're at. I'm glad there's finally appears justice is coming, and it doesn't seem like there was this real urge. It wasn't like maybe the
A sense of urgency.
yeah, because he should have been
These
locked
are
up.
questions, not
He should have been
accusations,
locked up.
until we know more information or until we know certain things are facts. But why wouldn't the family want to get involved or want to meet or want to be in touch with somebody who's trying to get their daughter justice? Especially if the police is at this point saying, we don't know if it's a murder investigation, and the private investigator is saying, I'm going to find out and prove it's a murder. Why wouldn't you want to get involved with to me, it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. It's inconsistent with what we would expect from a grieving family, right? It doesn't make sense whatsoever. Now, the part that really tripped me out is, and this is more proof that this relationship with Celeste and David was not a secret, was somebody from Celeste's school or near the school or association with the school from their little community. When she first went missing, somebody contacted David's management and let them know, hey, there's rumors that your artist is involved with her being missing. Please return her back to her family.
But it was no secret that she was with him. In fact, somebody close to the situation, her family, the
I ain't call it
school
law.
where she was going, wrote his management by email and said, paraphrasing it, there's a rumor that David might be involved in the disappearance of 13-year-old, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. If that's true, please make sure she gets home quickly. And she got home. She arrived the next day. And that email was received by his management company, and they did send it to him.
Come on, bruh. I mean, the management team know that you're doing this. They should have he never. What? He has no ties to her. He doesn't know who that is. Why would he be with her? He's this age. That girl's this age. But no, let me send it to him, and then she goes home.
I have proof of that. He was aware of it. So then she arrives back home, but then she runs away again. He was grooming her. He's a predator. This is not the only girl he was involved with. It was underage. When Celeste ran away on Valentine's Day, she showed up in the area. This is the exact same day that they're actually taking possession of the new house that they rented, my client's house.
Yes, sir.
Of course, my client doesn't. My client thinks it's Josh Marshall, his manager, but they take possession of it. So on that day, he's got Celeste runs away that day, and she's at the old house, the one where they did that live stream, delete everything, and he's got another minor at the new house, 1.5 miles away, and I've got pictures of it.
I knew it. When the part if you go watch the video, is when it says they found in his phone. I said it. Somebody that does this is not the first, and she's more likely not the only person. He's done this before, because you're too comfortable to be hopping on stream with her. People who do things with somebody that's young are not gonna let everybody know, because they know they're not supposed to be doing this. He's hopping on stream with her. What do you do? Like, what? That means you didn't care. And where's the other girl? The one that he's talking about. See, now I'm talking about two more girls, because the one he's talking about, and the one, or unless it might be the same girl, the one that he had pretended to be her, the other Celeste. Where's that girl at?
That can be.
This is kind of all new about there being like a new minor. If you can reveal, how old was this other minor that David was dealing with?
She was 16 and 17.
She was 16.
This was going on for a while.
Celeste and David was not a secret.
That's crazy.
If somebody who has some type of affiliation with Celeste's school knew, don't you think the parents would know as well? And if the parents knew, why is there no reports of the parents talking to the police about David and Celeste? Why is there nothing that's coming out where, hey, brother, parents been reported David for being inappropriate with their daughter? Now, Steve Fisher will say that the parents were reporting Celeste as a missing kid to cover their tracks from his perspective, because she was never really missing. They knew exactly where she was at. and she would come and go. Like she would come for like family events and then leave and be with David and be on tour and be with him for months on end. So
again, that's why they need to bring back boot camp for real. Cause what you know you doing that? No, lock her up. I said it before, bro, and it's sad because she, because she is not here no more. But young people who be trying to do things with older people, you need to be locked up too. They need to be locked up too. Like the older person, yes, morally right from wrong, but this person does too. At a certain age, depending on what age, like 14, 15, you're trying to date somebody 19, 20, 30, lock that ass up. Lock them up too. Because you know better. You at that age, you know better.
Was she really missing if they knew where she was and she was coming back and forth? No, she wouldn't be a missing child. So why was she reported missing and they kept her as a missing child?
And there's a video that during the time that she was supposedly missing, she was right next door when she was arguing with her neighbors.
According to Steve Fisher, he believes that that's because, that's to get CPS from off their tracks, to get the school from off their tracks, because if she's not reported missing, well, CPS in the school is asking, why is she not at school? Why is she not present? Why haven't we heard from her, right? And that would have started more issues.
And that would have made people wonder why didn't I report it?
January 2025 when that last shit happened, or 2024?
Well, she'd been gone well over a year when this was going down. I believe that live stream was 2024, January 2024. Then she starts, then in February, is when and then there's Runaways, and then, getting into around Valentine's Day, she runs away again. And then it's a year. It's well over a year that she's gone before we now know that this happened, according to prosecutors, in April of 2025. So she's gone a very long time. And that's been the whole thing, is piecing this together. Where exactly was she? Because we didn't really have evidence that we had evidence that she had been to the house, but not that she was like living at the house. And David would travel a lot for concerts or whatever, and nobody would stay there. So we're like, where was she in all this time? And then we find out that she wasn't truly a runaway. That's the part that's upsetting to me too, is that her family knew where she was, and she'd shown up for like her cousin's high school graduation. She showed up at a family event. There's a video out there of her arguing with the next door neighbors in the apartment complex next to her house, all while she's supposedly a missing person. And so it's all very frustrating. There's a lot of things, a lot of failures around her. And I understand she's probably a handful. I get that. But the thing is, she's a kid. That's part of being a parent. She needed direction. She needed like a direction in life. And it's not a
part of the problem is though, is when the CPS made it where parents can't whoop their kids. That's part of the problem right there, because it truly seemed like once kids knew and figured that out, oh, I can go above and beyond now. You legally can't do anything to me. If you put your hands on me too roughly, I can call law on you, and you're going to go to jail for abuse. That's crazy. That's part of the problem right there.
Okay, they knew who he was, and it's just, I don't care how rich he is, I don't care how famous he's becoming, I don't care he's living in a mansion and he can afford to support her. It's not okay.
Make no mistake about it, if that's true, they should 100% be in the next cell next to David. We see this with R. Kelly, but just like R. Kelly, the parents are never held accountable if this is true. Right? With R. Kelly, R. Kelly got arrested,
because if you got to think about it, it's other adults that are the jurors, right? So therefore, it's like if we lock them up, that means we might be next. So if our kid does this and we don't do something, we're gonna be locked up too. Like that. That's what most jurors be thinking. Trust me, I watch a lot of documentaries, and sometimes they be thinking like when it comes to certain cases, if they convict this person, it can be them. Like depending on the scenario, and that's one. Like your kid runs away, does something, they get unalive, and you didn't do anything. Like, did you ever try to stop them? Did you know who they were with, where they were going? Could you have went and got them? Did you make a report report? If you were like going along with it, you got to be locked up too. And that's fear for most people, bro. That's fear. That's like, like there was a time where if your kid is coming up truant too many times, dad come lock the parent up. I think they stopped that now, but they was trying to lock people up, bro, because their kids not coming to school because they feel like you knew what you know what they're doing and you're not trying to stop it. But most time you are, but kids still do what they want to do.
Women came out and they said, "Oh, mom dropped me off to R. Kelly. Yo, my mom was the one who arranged this." The parents never got picked up, right? Because the police don't usually go after parents because usually the parents are a crucial part of the investigation. In this situation, it's just hard for me to imagine that this little girl was missing for a year plus, and if she was with David for a year plus and the police never like got involved, like the police never went to David, and the mom knew her quote unquote boyfriend was David, and they never told the police, "Hey, she's at David, go ahead and get her."
Yeah, that's crazy.
But as we've seen, she was going back and forth. We got the video of her arguing with her neighbors, and that was like months after she was reported missing. So Steve Fisher is telling the truth, and in regards to they seen her go back and forth after she was reported missing. But if they intentionally reported her missing, so the police and the school system and CPS can get off of their tail for her not being at school and doing certain. We got to start having some tougher conversations here, man.
For sure, because they could easily be like, she's missing, or she ran away. Not even she's missing. She ran away to this guy's house. Can you go get her because she's this age and he's older, or he might be older if they didn't truly know. Like, but you can look at him and look at her like, yeah, like they ain't supposed to be together.
I agree. The parents need to be held accountable.
I was just about to ask that because one thing about the parents is, usually they don't always have to say something, you know what I mean? The family has to grieve, but I feel like this is one of those cases where the only statement I know that's out there is that the mother just said that she had a boyfriend named David. That's the only statement from the family that I've ever heard that is verified from them. So my question was going to be do you think the family is as quiet as they are because they knew who David was and they knew who she was going to, and you don't really see too much of an intervention between them?
I mean, yes, I have proof that family members have been to that rental house before. I've been with David and Celeste.
Wait, her family has been to his house?
Family members. Listen, one of the first things I put down in this case was a build. We know.
He said they've been with them two together. What?
That David and Celeste were at Six Flags on a certain date, and we found a Build-A-Bear certificate from the Build-A-Bear place in Six Flags in her cousin's name at the house. So it's like, wait a minute. So she wasn't really missing. You want to know, in my opinion, what the missing persons report was about? It was to cover their ass so CPS didn't come in and say, "Hey, she's not going to school. What's up?" If she's a missing person, you say she's not going to the school because she's a missing person. Then you don't have CPS in your life at that moment. And I sympathize. I know that they're grieving. I know they lost a daughter, but goddamn, she shouldn't have been allowed to be. She was gone a year and a half, man. A year and a half. Somebody should have said, maybe we shouldn't be letting Celeste live her own life like this.
Yeah, 13.
I don't care
what?
how much money he has, how famous he has. Maybe in some cultures they don't think that's that huge of an age gap. I don't care. That these are the laws that you've agreed to live under, and she's 14, she was not 15 like it says on her death certificate. She turned 15 the day before she was found in the Tesla. She'd been in that Tesla a long time. She was 13 and 14 years old when this was happening.
Grown family members are showing up to David's mansion where Celeste be at. They're well aware this grown man with a mansion is hanging out with a 13-year-old.
That's crazy.
And, they think it's normal. And they're hanging out and they're not saying nothing. David is pulling up with his Tesla at Celeste's crib to pick her up. and they know this. Yo, fam, if a dude, first off, you don't even gotta know the age. If a dude who is driving a Tesla is pulling up to pick up your 13-year-old daughter, you know what you do? You call the police.
Yeah, what?
But yet we'll be the bad people for asking. This don't sound right. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. All right.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. On the shows I be watching, bro, that family would have been locked up already. Mom, dad, somebody, because you basically played a part. Because y'all knew and y'all didn't stop it, or made you try to stop it. You just all you did was, especially if it came out to be that y'all only made the reports to cover yourself. Yeah, lock them up. Lock them up. Sorry for the son, because you're gonna be in foster care, bro.